Ifunanya was a beautiful young woman living in the bustling city of Asaba. She had grown up in a middle-class family where her parents worked hard to provide for her and her siblings. However, Ifunanya had always been drawn to the finer things in life. She loved luxury cars, designer clothes, and expensive jewelry. She would often browse through magazines and online stores, dreaming of the day she could afford to buy all the things she desired. "Any man I will say yes to his marriage proposal must be rich," Ifunanya will always say. She has her diary, where she wrote down the list of things she expects a man to own before she can say yes to his marriage proposal. The list: 10 luxuries cars, multiple estates, hotels in Lagos, Abuja, Enugu, Imo State, Nigeria, etc. And he must have at least $100 million in his accounts. Despite her love for luxury, Ifunanya was not willing to put in the hard work required to achieve her goals. She would often complain about the difficulties of finding a good job and the stress of working long hours. Her parents had tried to encourage her to pursue a career, but Ifunanya was more interested in finding a shortcut to wealth. As she approached her mid-20s, Ifunanya began to feel the pressure to settle down. Her parents were eager for her to get married and start a family, but Ifunanya was not interested in marrying just anyone. She wanted a man who could provide for her and give her the luxurious lifestyle she desired. "I cannot settle for less. I deserve better," she will always say to herself. Ifunanya's friends and family had given up on trying to find her a suitable husband. She was too picky and her expectations were too high, but Ifunanya didn't care. She was determined to find a man who could give her the life she wanted. "Stop stressing yourselves, finding a husband for me. When I see the Odogwu, I will marry him immediately," Ifunanya said to them. She will often go to the jewelry stores, price the most expensive diamond rings, and from there she will go to the store where expensive wedding dresses are sold and price them, from there to the car showroom. When she gets home, she will be dreaming of herself in expensive wedding dress, luxurious cars, luxurious mansion, owning Birkin bags, etc. Now there lives a man named Ikechukwu. He was large, imposing figure with a round face. He was also extremely obese, and his body odor was overpowering, but all that doesn't change the fact that he is wealthy, extremely wealthy. Ikechukwu has 20 luxurious cars like Rolls-Royces, Bugatti, Lamborghinis, Bentleys, you name it. He also owns a private jet, which cost about $75 million, multiple estates all over the world, multiple luxurious hotels all over the world. And if it's to add up all the money in his accounts, it's really beyond the figures on Ifunanya's dream man's list. So one day, Ifunanya and her friends went for a music concert. A bouncer tapped Ifunanya on her shoulder, and as she turned towards him, he said to her, "My boss is calling you," he said, as he points towards the VVIP table. Ifunanya went to answer him, and immediately she was turned off by his body shape and strong body odor. But regardless of Ikechukwu's bad body odor, Ifunanya sat beside him at that VVIP table. She, sitting on that table, makes her feel seen and arrived. "This is the life I deserve," she muttered to herself. The thought of Ikechukwu's body odor still makes her uncomfortable and wanting to stay away from him. But as she got to know him, she discovered that Ikechukwu was a wealthy man. He had inherited a vast fortune from his parents, and he lived a life of luxury. Ifunanya's eyes widened as he showed her pictures of his mansion, his cars, and his expensive jewelry. "This man will be my ticket to the luxurious lifestyle that I have always dreamed of," Ifunanya said as she lay on her bed in her bedroom. Despite her initial reservations, Ifunanya found herself drawn to Ikechukwu's wealth. She began to overlook his physical appearance and his body odor, focusing instead on the luxurious lifestyle he could offer her. Ikechukwu was smitten with Ifunanya. He showered her with gifts and attention, taking her on expensive dates and showing her off to his friends. Ifunanya was torn. On the one hand, she was repulsed by Ikechukwu's physical appearance and his body odor. On the other hand, she was drawn to his wealth and the luxurious lifestyle he could offer her. One day, Ikechukwu took Ifunanya to a fancy restaurant and proposed to her. He presented her with a very expensive diamond ring, the type of diamond ring Ifunanya had dreamed of, and promised to give her the world. Ifunanya was taken aback. She had not expected him to propose so soon. As she looked at the ring and thought about the luxurious lifestyle Ikechukwu could offer her, Ifunanya made a decision. She would marry him, not for love, but for his wealth. She knew it was a pragmatic decision, but she was willing to overlook her reservations for the sake of financial security. As she got home, she showed her family her expensive diamond ring. "Ifunanya, you don't even know this guy well enough. Why did you accept to marry him?" her mother asked. "Mom, I don't care about knowing him. All I need is money and he has it XD. So I'm good, Mommy. If you fall from Ikechukwu's money, you will break all the bones in your body. That is how big and huge Ikechukwu's money is." "But wait, Mom, don't you want to enjoy money? I know you do, and you will enjoy luxurious things when I become Ikechukwu's wife, so get yourself ready, because I will spoil you silly soon." Ifunanya and Ikechukwu's wedding day arrived, and the city of Asaba was abuzz with excitement. The ceremony was lavish, with hundreds of guests in attendance. Ifunanya looked stunning in her white wedding gown, but Ikechukwu's appearance was a stark contrast. His massive frame was squeezed into a tailored suit, but he still looked uncomfortable. As they exchanged their vows, Ifunanya couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt. She was marrying Ikechukwu for his wealth, not for love. But she pushed the thought aside and focused on the luxurious life that lay ahead. The reception was a grand affair, with music, dancing, and feasting. Ifunanya and Ikechukwu were showered with gifts and congratulations, and they smiled and laughed together like a happy couple. But as the night wore on, Ifunanya began to feel suffocated by Ikechukwu's clinginess. He was always touching her, holding her hand, and whispering in her ear. She felt like she was losing herself in the process of becoming his wife. But she doesn't know Ikechukwu had other plans for her. Ikechukwu knew that Ifunanya married him because of his money. He saw her as a gold digger and decided to teach her a little lesson. He doesn't give Ifunanya enough money for the house or herself, but he made sure he enjoyed himself to the fullest. Ifunanya was feeling overwhelmed by the weight of responsibility that came with being Ikechukwu's wife. She was managing the household, taking care of the finances, and trying to keep Ikechukwu happy. But it was taking a toll on her. She was exhausted, stressed, and feeling trapped. She began to wonder if this was the life she really wanted. This is not what she imagined life will be with Ikechukwu. She thought she had figured out her life by getting married to Ikechukwu just to enjoy luxury. Ikechukwu, on the other hand, seemed oblivious to Ifunanya's struggles. He was content with living his life, as he always had, without any consideration for Ifunanya's feelings or needs. The imbalance in their relationship was becoming increasingly apparent, and Ifunanya began to feel like she made the worst decision by getting married to Ikechukwu. Ifunanya was feeling hopeless, trapped in a marriage that was suffocating her. But one day, she met a woman named Neoma, who was a successful businesswoman and a pillar of the community. Neoma took Ifunanya under her wing, mentoring her and encouraging her to pursue her passions. Ifunanya began to see a glimmer of hope, realizing that she didn't have to be defined by her marriage. Ifunanya realized that If she had focused on herself and worked hard, she would have enjoyed luxurious lifestyle the way she wanted it without asking for anyone for permission. Ifunanya's friendship with Naoma marked a turning point in her life. She began to assert herself, standing up to Ikechukwu and refusing to be treated like a servant. She gained so much confidence. Ikechukwu was taken aback by Ifunanya's newfound confidence, but he was also intrigued. He began to see Ifunanya in a new light as a strong and capable woman. He began to respect her the more, and he decided in his heart that he will treat her well. Ifunanya and Ikechukwu's marriage was still troubled, but they were both willing to work on it. They began attending counseling sessions. Ifunanya started pursuing her own interests and passions. It was a new beginning for both of them, a chance to rebuild their relationship and create a more equal and fulfilling partnership. Ikechukwu started spoiling Ifunanya silly. He will wake her up with expensive gifts, credit alert of millions of naira, luxury human hair, you name it. He gave Ifunanya the life she really desired. "Honey," Ifunanya called her husband as they lay together on the bed in their bedroom, "I appreciate all you do for me and how you treat me like a princess. That is the life I have craved for so much. But baby, I want more. I want to own my own business. I want to have my own money, baby." "It's not a bad idea, my love," Ikechukwu said, smiling. "So what business do you have in mind? Just say it and it shall be done. My duty is to always make you happy. I don't care how much it will cost." "Oh, baby, I love you so much," Ifunanya said. "I will love to own a luxurious boutique. I want to sell luxury only." "Consider it done," Ikechukwu replied. But just as things were starting to look up, new challenges arose. Ikechukwu's health began to decline, and he was diagnosed with a serious illness. Ifunanya was devastated, feeling like her world was crashing down around her. But she refused to give up, standing by Ikechukwu's side and caring for him as he navigated his illness. Ikechukwu's illness was a test of Ifunanya's love and commitment. She had married him for his wealth, but now she was faced with the possibility of losing him. As she cared for Ikechukwu, Ifunanya realized that her feelings for him had changed. She no longer saw him as just a means to an end, but as a person worthy of love and respect. Ifunanya's experience caring for Ikechukwu gave her a new perspective on life. She realized that true wealth wasn't just about money, but about relationships, health, and happiness. She began to reevaluate her priorities, focusing on what truly mattered to her. And as she did, she found a sense of purpose and fulfillment that she had never known before. Ikechukwu recovered from his illness. Ifunanya realized that she needed to forgive him for his past transgressions. She had been holding on to resentment and anger for too long, and it was time to let go. Ikechukwu, too, needed to forgive himself and make amends for his mistakes. Together, they began the process of healing and forgiveness, working to rebuild their relationship and create a stronger, healthier bond. Ifunanya and Ikechukwu's marriage was far from perfect, but they were both committed to making it work. They started fresh, creating a new dynamic and a more equal partnership. It wasn't easy, but they were willing to put in the effort. And as they worked together, they began to realize that their love was stronger than they had ever imagined. Ifunanya had never expected to fall in love with Ikechukwu, but as she got to know him, she realized that he was more than just a wealthy man. He was kind, generous, and loving. And Ikechukwu, too, had found love in unexpected places. He had never thought that he would find someone like Ifunanya, someone who saw beyond his physical appearance and loved him for who he truly was. Ifunanya and Ikechukwu's love story was a testament to the power of love. It could conquer all, even the most seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Their love had brought them together, and it had transformed them both. They were no longer the same people they had been when they first met. Ifunanya and Ikechukwu's love was a love that lasted. It was a love that had been tested and tried, but it had come out stronger on the other side. They knew that their love would continue. She began to reevaluate her priorities, focusing on what truly mattered to her. And as she did, she found a sense of purpose and fulfillment that she had never experienced before. They knew that their love would continue to face challenges, but they were ready. They were committed to each other, and they knew that their love would see them through. Ifunanya and Ikechukwu lived happily ever after, their love growing stronger with each passing day. They knew that they had found their soulmate in each other, and they were grateful for every moment they spent together to face challenges, but they were ready. They were committed to each other, and they knew that their love would see them through. After 2 years, they had their set of twins, a boy and a girl. They named them Chibuikem and Chioma. They loved them so much and gave the children the best life they could ever dream of. Did you learn anything from this story? Then drop it down on the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to friends. Turn on your notification bell so you can be notified when new stories are posted on this channel. I will see you all on the next video.